Hey guys, so some of you guys asked that I kind of continue to make some videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I sand. This is after 7 layers total. So I've already done my initial 4 to cover the chunky, sanded after 4. Now I have 3 additional layers on and I'm going to sand. But if you notice, it's actually doing really well at 7 layers. So I think I'm only gonna need about 2 or 3 more layers, and then if I wanted to put a decal on, I could. This particular cup is actually going to a customer that doesn't want a decal at all, so I'll probably do an additional 3 to 4 layers and then be good to go. I have already started to kind of sand already before I remembered to start the video, but really what I do is I use the sanding paper that came from Crystalac. This is the 400. It's the sanding pad. I think it's a great one to use and have. So I just really kind of give it a good little sand. Apply just a little bit of pressure now that we have a good amount of coverage on our chunky glitter. So go through here, and you'll see it goes from that nice shine to you get this white powdery film, and that's okay. That's actually what you want, because you want to get this to where all these little bumps and ridges kind of go away, and then when you get to your next coat, it's going to go on very smoothly. And it's gonna help to build those layers and just have that great shine. Don't forget up near the rim, which I will do a video when I get to the point of cleaning the rim of this cup, because the rim of this cup is horrible. So I'll show you guys some tips and tricks on that as well. So now that I've got a good sand, I kind of just run my hand over and just make sure it feels smooth for the most part. You're still gonna have grooves. That's normal, especially with a chunky glitter. That will level out the more layers you put on. This is just kind of helping it get to that point. And you definitely don't want to forget your bottom or the edges around the bottom, because this has always been my hardest part, is making sure that this is nice and smooth for the customer, so that way they don't have any roughness. I feel like with epoxy, I had a really big problem with it pulling from the rim and from the bottom. Thankfully with Crystalac, I can feel when I put it on to make sure that it's nice and covered and smooth. So, but you don't want to forget it when you're sanding either. So I just give it a real quick little rough sand, letting the sandpaper do the work. That really is the trick, is you don't need to push very hard at all. This is very fine sandpaper. David and Dorinda did a great job picking what to offer, and it really will do the work for you. So there's that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm simply gonna wet a paper towel, wipe all of this off, dry it, and then I'll apply a layer. So I will get my paper towel and I'll show you what that looks like.
For 150s, and they work great. And I have not had a deer run away from this gun yet. I think I've killed about 4 deer with this one, between me and one other person. All right, so number 6 is a wild card here on our top 5 video. And you know, every 5 guns video has a wild card. So what's your wild card pick, Will?
My pick is gonna be the M1 carbine. Now, this is a US postal meter, and the reason I like the M1, I actually own an M2, which is the full auto version. I've got a transferable M2 carbine, and they're just extremely fun to shoot. If you've got, you know, new shooters that want to go out and just have a blast, no pun intended, the M carbine is so lightweight. The 30 caliber round, it carries sufficient, you know, in ballistics if you didn't need to use it for a home defense weapon, or even target shooting. I mean, it's just a heck of a lot of fun. So I really picked the M1 carbine for the fun factor.
Yep. And I would like to say something in terms of the ballistics of the .30 carbine. A lot of people say, oh, well, it's not a good long-range cartridge. That wasn't really the intent, right? These things were meant to kind of bridge the gap between a handgun and a rifle, okay? And early versions of these were actually issued in World War II with these like crazy scabbards. Like you would literally wear the gun on your side like a pistol and be able to have it, you know, a long-range pistol. So this really is one of the first like personal defense weapons in terms of its specific use that was ever developed. And the cool thing about it is in a room-to-room fight. Okay, let's say that we're clearing a building in a military environment or whatever the case. It's home defense and you know, you both grab a gun. All right, if I take this gun and load 55 grain ball in it, I take this gun and load full power 110 grain ball in it. These guns' power level is toe-to-toe at close range. So I may not have the speed and like the armor defeating capabilities of the light and fast round, but foot-pounds of energy-wise, they're both generating roughly the same power. Well, at close range.
Yeah.
Now the AR